The Chicago Bears have signed a center, and his name is Coleman Shelton. Welcome to Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Day 4 of NFL free agency is here, and Ryan Poles has gotten a center. Ink is on paper. We don't know how much it is on the one-year deal. I would guess in the $5 million range. I don't think it'll be more than $7 million, which is where you saw like Aaron Brewer sign in per year money. But we'll have to wait and see on those details. But we're going to break down this signing coming up here on today's show. But I do want to shout out today's sponsor of Chicago Bears Now before we get to Coleman Shelton. That is Manscaped. Bears Now is presented by Manscaped, the best men's grooming products on the planet. Don't miss out. The Lawnmower 5.0 is going to keep you nice and clean downstairs. The Beard Hedger are going to keep you nice and clean upstairs. Other products as well. Use code BEARS20 to get 20% off at manscaped.com. The best men's grooming products out there. All right, let's get back to Coleman Shelton here as he comes in on a one-year deal. Again, we'll see on the money. Very familiar scheme player. He's been with the Los Angeles Rams for all 5 years of his career. Shane Waldron was with him his first 2 years in the NFL in 2019 and 2020 before taking the Seahawks OC job. Knows this scheme and offense very well. Now, last year, the Rams kind of shifted to a gap scheme from the wide zone just based on personnel, and I think his pass blocking took a bit of a hit. He was a higher graded pass blocker in 2022 than he was in 2023 per PFF, but his run blocking was still very good. 17th highest graded center last year, so, kind of a middle of the league starting center, but that is much better than what the Bears have had really for about 3 or 4 years now with the Lucas Patrick experience, Sam Mustipher trying to put Cody Whitehair back there. This is definitely an upgrade. Is it an all-pro? No. Is it even a guy who can make a Pro Bowl? Probably not, but he has started 30 games over the past 2 years. He knows the system, should be a plug-and-play fit, and only gave up 2 sacks last year, only had 6 penalties, so those aren't too bad of numbers in its own right. Grade the signing of Coleman Shelton, A, B, C, D, or F. Obviously, we don't know the money just yet, but again, I don't think this is going to be a break-the-bank signing. So I'll give it a solid B. It's an upgrade. It's not an all-pro. Give me a B for Coleman Shelton. It fills a clear need. I'm going to plug him in as the starting center. I know there had been some buzz that maybe Ryan Bates will be that, and maybe he still could. Maybe it's a competition. Who knows? But a guy who has started 30 games over the past 2 years versus Ryan Bates, who has played less than 300 snaps at the position, I think you got to give Coleman Shelton the edge. And I think Ryan Bates' best role is as that top interior backup. He's an excellent backup. He can play both guard spots. He can play center. If he has to start, he's serviceable, but he's better as a backup. So I like Coleman Shelton as the starter. Now, if they want to give Bates a chance to compete, there's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't just be handing out jobs if you are the Chicago Bears, especially to players who are non-all-pros. But at the same time, I do expect it to be Coleman Shelton as this team's starting center. I do wonder, does that eliminate the Bears from drafting a center? I don't think it necessarily does, because you're talking about a guy on a one-year deal. Again, it's not like he's an all-pro or something like that. So if they really like someone in the draft, I still think that's possible. Now, I do think it probably eliminates them from getting Jackson Powers-Johnson in the first round. I think they would go in a different direction than that. I don't think he is as likely of an option now, but I could still see them taking a developmental guy in the middle rounds that kind of just redshirts this year, and then, if they feel like he could start next year, he could take over, because Shelton is just on a one-year deal. So I wouldn't completely dismiss that possibility, but I do think like the high level, the JPJ is a little less likely after this move. We'll continue the conversation around Shelton and NFL free agency in a moment, but top of the morning to you, really the afternoon. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the St. Patrick's Day Shamrock Shavers from Manscaped. This year, don't just chase rainbows. Make your own pot of gold and groom your little leprechaun or leprechauns, as the leaders in below-the-kilt care is Manscaped. Listen, you can get 20% off the Lawnmower 5.0, and your confidence will shine bright, fellas. Meet your new lucky charm, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It's got dual LED spotlights, 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads. This product continues to improve from Manscaped. It's the 5.0. You know what that tells me? Manscaped's not resting on their laurels. They're not saying, hey, we got a decent product, we're not going to look to improve. No, they're improving their stuff all the time. That's an honest and upward trajectory company, if you ask me. I'm a big fan of all of Manscaped's products, but the 5.0 is absolutely fantastic. Gives you a smooth shave downstairs. You're looking for a little frisky night, get going with the 5.0 Ultra, and then boom, you're going to be feeling lucky at the end of the night, fellas. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20, get 20% off. You'll get free shipping as well. Waterproof, wireless charging station. It's an awesome product. Go check out Manscaped right now. All right, let's kind of just circle back and just recap everything that's happened for the Chicago Bears in NFL free agency after this signing of Coleman Shelton. It started with Ryan Bates, who's been considered as a potential starting center option. I don't know if that's the case now, but he's versatile. He can play both guard spots, center. He can play tackle on a pinch if you need him to. Jalen Johnson, we've broken that down extensively. Think it's really good value. Cap hit under $14 million this year. I think Ryan Poles did really well there. Bring back the longest tenured Bear, Patrick Scales, the long snapper who's been here since 2015. Depth safety, Tarvarius Moore. Probably going to have to fight for a roster spot there. We'll see if he can make this team's 53-man roster. Kevin Byard, who we heard from today, he had his introductory press conference at Hallis Hall, and you listen to him talk, and it's like, yeah, this guy's been around the block. Natural leadership skills. You can just hear it in his tone of voice and the things he was talking about. I think that's going to be a really good fit. His best days might be behind him, but I still think he's a good player, and the metrics show he's a clear upgrade from Eddie Jackson, and you get him for half the cost. So that's a clear win. DeAndre Swift, we've talked about that one. You needed an upgrade in that running back room. Khalil Herbert can slide back into that natural RB2 role. You still got Roschon Johnson, who you're developing. Like the Gerald Everett move, 2 years, $12 million. Good tight end, too, in this league. Over 450 yards on average in each of the past 5 years. Jonathan Owens, the husband of Simone Biles, number 3 safety. That's an upgrade from Elijah Hicks. He started a bunch of games for Green Bay last year and all 17 for Houston a couple of years ago. And then you get Matt Pryor, depth offensive lineman, can play tackle, can play guard. Maybe that means Larry Borum gets cut. Who knows? Brett Rippon, kind of your Nathan Peterman replacement. Peterman signed with the Saints today, so third quarterback in the room. That he's been around a little bit. Eamon O, as we're calling him, still working on the pronunciation. I was practicing this morning. Special teams ace. He'll be an LB4, LB5. Your Dylan Cole replacement there. And then, of course, Coleman Shelton. This contract just coming in minutes ago as we're breaking it down live here on Chicago Bears Now. Moving forward, first of all, subscribe to the channel for more Bears coverage, latest news, rumors, free agency signings, draft coverage as well. Hit that subscribe button. I think next steps, defensive line, wide receiver. What does Ryan Poles do at those positions? I think you got to add some pieces there. DJ Wanham set to visit tonight, so maybe they secure a deal with him. 8 sacks in 2 of the last 3 seasons. If you could get him plus a number 3 caliber receiver, I'd feel pretty good about where things sit. We'll see where it goes from here. But Coleman Shelton, the latest addition, as the Bears get a center.